and they would thrive off of it. But when it comes to so-called African American people, it don't do us any good, and the proteins is killing us.
Willie D Live.
That's what I'm saying. So other people can eat meat and they would thrive off of it. But when it comes to so-called African American people, it don't do us any good, and the proteins is killing us. This protein myth is killing us. They say that you need protein for this many grams of muscles, and no, we need amino acid structures. And this go back to what I'm saying. Eating meat in its raw state is the best way to eat meat. But us as a so-called African people, we're not supposed to be eating meat because it does the body good.
What about fish and shrimp?
No, not fish, especially not shrimp. Shrimp is full of defecation. Shrimps is made to clean the ocean. If y'all keep eating all the shrimps and eating all the catfish out of the sea, then what's going to keep the ocean clean? For the ocean can give us planktons and give us oxygen. A lot of people think most of the oxygen come from the trees, but majority of your oxygen that you breathe in actually come from the ocean.
No lobster.
No. Lobster is a sea. It's a sea monster.
God, man, I'm down for change.
This is what I'm saying. I just want you to look at. So you're not supposed to eat anything why would you eat a bottom feeder? Would you eat a cockroach? That's a shrimp.
Depends on how they cook it.
But you funny. A cockroach is the cousin of a shrimp. So a cockroach is a land shrimp. A shrimp is a sea cockroach. Same family. They got the same last names and everything. Same thing as a crab and a spider.
What's the last name?
I can't think of it right now. And I don't want to say nothing wrong on her because they love to tear me apart. Yeah. But if you look it up, they're in the same exact family. The spider and the crab, the same exact family. What we have made basically the trash cans of the ocean and the trash cans of the earth are delicacy. But this is the same thing that happened in slavery, where they gave us a pig and gave us the most nasty, horrendous parts of the pig, and then we turned it into a delicacy, like chitterlings. What is amazing about eating the intestines of a pig? But we turned that into a delicacy. We put all of our seasonings on it. You know, that's causing all types of tapeworms, hookworms, fluke worms, Fasciolopsis buski. Think about the things that we actually, and then you think that it's romantic to take, and for one, we're not Roman, so we can't even say we're romantic. There's nothing Roman about us. That's Greco-Greek language. I'm just trying to show my people we're in a different culture, and I'm trying to show it without them thinking I'm just being racist, because I'm not. I have white friends. I have white business people that I do business with. That is not the issue. The issue is monkeys play with monkeys. Gorillas play and socialize themselves with gorillas. Polar bears would never, Dr. Sebi said it, you would never catch a polar bear fraternizing and eating with a gorilla because they eat two totally different things. So I'm saying you would never see a gorilla send its gorilla cubs to polar bear school. So we're letting other people teach us. We're letting other people give us spirituality. We're letting other people feed us. We're letting other people clothe us. And it's not our culture and tradition. And it's the reason why I'm having the problem with the very same people that I'm trying to heal and help. Because they're operating out of a European mindset and not out of an Aboriginal or African mindset.
Man, ain't that cold-blooded, man, when you're trying to help your people, man, and they're the main ones as a
it hurts sometimes. I be having to talk to Nabi like, Nabi, he be like, don't give up, man. It'll work. And then Nabi, so shouts out to Nabi, that's my manager. What he do is he always point out the good. Man, you got millions of followers. You know, you're doing good, man. You got thousands of healing testimonies. That means thousands of people are listening. You know, we flying around the country and we talking on the biggest shows in America. That means they hearing. So, you know, I get that, but I'm the one receiving all the pressure. And it's like, dang, I don't get no sleep. I don't get to spend that much time with my family. All I'm doing is traveling, healing, and studying, and bring y'all this information for y'all can change our mindsets to not only heal one's body, but heal one's mind and one's spirit. Because all these things have to be rehabilitated for you to be able to say that you're whole again. And it's like, I'm putting my life and my neck on the line just for y'all to not even, y'all are calling me a liar. Y'all call me stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's like, ain't none of y'all went and did, just put me to the test. Try what I'm saying. But nobody wants to try it. It sounds so taboo because it's not Europeanized that they can't even, it hurts their soul to even listen to it.
Willie D Live.
I come from a very, very different way of thinking. All these other holistic healers, they believe in disease. I don't believe in disease. I don't believe disease exists. I believe that the body have the natural capability of healing itself when the energy is not capable of flowing easy throughout the whole entire body. I believe that these diseases are nothing but symptomologies of detoxification symptoms. These people believe in disease. So there is no argument there because we believe in something totally different. I don't think that we're made to drink actually H2O water. I'm not saying that you can't drink it, but I believe that we were made to drink water that come from our fruits, which is called H3O2. They can't even tell you the molecular weight or the chemistry behind H3O2. They can't even find it. So why would I argue with you? You can't even do the proper math, or you don't even have the type of experiments and studies to show the different change. You know, is it a dipole? Is it a tripole? Is it a monopole? Like, how is this water even being exchanged through the body? So you tend to find yourself being angry and mad and wanting to go back and forth with people that's just not intelligently or consciously even on your level. And I just learned to bypass that. Put out the information. For those that's meant to hear the information, they will. And if they apply the information, they will see that I'm right. For those that just want to hear and soundbite and argue, let them do them. You know, it's a balance. It's my art when it comes to anything in creation. Without light, there will be no darkness. Up, then it creates down. Beautiful creates ugly, hot, cold, skinny, fat. This is part of the game. And if I'm out here teaching millions new information that challenge the very foundation of their mindset and what built their personality, if I don't expect to have no backlash or to be critiqued or criticized, I'm stupid. So I expect what happens. I expect everybody to come at me because I'm ahead of my time. I'm coming with some things that people never ever heard. It sounds crazy and taboo. I expect people to get mad how they get mad, but to make no mistake about it, I get way more love than I get hate. I get way more love than I get hate. The reason why I'm on this platform right now, why we on Sway in the Morning and all these other big platforms that we own, is because those who see, and those who don't. And I pray and hope that one day they get it.
Yeah, I ask that because it's very hard to change a determined mind, right? If somebody just determined to not want to learn, not want to grow, not want to like you, not want to appreciate you, then it's not a lot that you can do about that.
Part of the war, man.
Yeah, and also you spoke about, you know, trusting the information of your enemy. That's crazy to me how we accept these stats that they present to us,
and then use them against each other.
Exactly, and use them like they're actually the gospel. We use them, and it's like a lot of us just don't understand that the money is in the medicine, and that's what they want us on. So somebody like you is a major threat to the status quo. I mean, we're talking about trillions of dollars.
Yeah, a multi-trillion-dollar annually income.
Yeah, the money is in the medicine, man. I was riding down the street a few weeks ago, and I just noticed it was almost like a hospital on every other block or something, like either a hospital
or a church,
or one of those emergency 24-hour emergency places. They're everywhere. They're popping up like fires in 1992 LA riots.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm not against the hospitals or the emergency rooms because I believe the allopathic community do have a purpose here. I just don't think it's in holistic medicine and healing. I think, you know, like if I get shot right now and I'm not finna go take a herb, call 911, take me to the hospital because I'm not a surgeon. You know, my degrees are not in surgery. I don't know anything about surgery.
And you're experiencing trauma at that.
You see what I'm saying? So come get this bullet up out of me because, you know, if it get infected, I can die. So I'm not an extremist. I know that they have a position and purpose here, and that's for things like that. But when it comes to so-called reversing these so-called diseases, they know nothing about that. In fact, when you actually go to school and you get your doctrines and your MDs, they don't teach you that. They teach you how to sell pharmaceutical drugs. The allopathic community outside the surgeon rooms are drug dealers.
So here is a before of my stomach before Sonobello, and this is after.
Willie D Live.
And this is the honest to God, flat out truth. It's ran by a medical cartel, which link back to these higher names that I've been talking about for many many years. And that's cool if they want to do that. They just not finna be selling that to my people and I be quiet about it. You see what I'm saying? It's all about a different perspective. We are dealing with another people's psychology. We are operating in another people's history in education. And everybody act like science is just solidified or is facts. Just because it's science, it don't make it facts. Science is part of a culture. If you go to Africa right now and you check their science, it's very, very different from the Western allopathic science. If you go to India right now, they have something called medicineless hospitals where you don't get medicine at their hospital. So they have the same hospital with the same concept. So if one in America pushes drug, the other one, they pushes breathing therapy. You go to the Indian hospital, they're going to tell you to meditate, to bring your blood pressure down, to get rid of your hypertension. You stay here, they're going to give you some type of drug to try to control your blood pressure. You go to Africa, they're going to change your diet. But we still talking about blood pressure, and it's still a institute or a sanctuary that you go to receive your so-called healing. So the science is not the issue. It is the culture. We are operating in another people's culture. We eating other people's food. You see that? We taking gods or what you would call religion, and we wondering why we out of our minds. We're out of our original Aboriginal African minds, and we're in the minds of Europeans and other people. And that's why we don't have no peace. We don't have no identity. We don't have no language. We don't have no land. We don't know who we are. We identify with the color of a crown and shirt. We call ourselves black. Then you'll say you're African American, which is 2 continents. Who are you? If you ask an Italian, he's gonna say, I'm Italian. I speak Italian. I'm from Italy. You ask a Japanese, I'm Japanese. I'm from Japan. I speak Japanese. A Chinese, I'm from China. I speak Chinese. I'm Chinese. Soon as you ask a so-called black person who they are, they're gonna say, I'm African American and I speak English. We don't know who we are. So since we don't know who we are, and you strip the nationality and the identification of a people, you can tell them who they are. And that's what's been told to us. So I'm just here pulling the curtains off, saying they lying. They'll send you to the doctor right now. You go to the doctor, they will treat you like a 40-year-old Caucasian man. What about a 14-year-old so-called African-American woman? She goes to the doctor right now and they will treat her like a 40-year-old Caucasian man. That is their stat.
Unless she's in pain.
That's their statistics.
Tell her to hold on.
You see what I'm saying?
Let's see what happens.
So
she can handle it.
We just have to understand that we're biologically different. That's why we look different. You know, people push the narrative that we're all the same. It's one race, and that's the human race. And that's just not true. Biologically, it is not sound, and it doesn't make sense. For one, our skins are darker, meaning we have a dark pigmentation more than other people. And that's selenium and melanin and built up carbon in our skin. Our teeth are smaller than theirs. You know, I mean, it's by micrometers, but if you measure them, it is. On an average, our teeth are smaller. Theirs are sharper than ours. When you even look at our brain size is different than theirs. Our bone mineral density, talking about our melanin content in our minerals, we hold more minerals than them. Our bones are heavier than them. Like when you actually look at us, our skulls, you can actually, this is the reason why somebody can die and decompose. They can go dig up the body, and based off of their femur bone and based off of their DNA, they can tell whether they're so-called white, so-called black, Asian, Chinese, and all these other different types of what they'll call race of species, because we are molecularly and biologically different than any other race. So if I'm different, if my molecular biological structure is different, if my melanin content is different, if my minerals is different, even my electrolytes and how it roam around through my blood is different, if I react to the environment different, if I can take the sun more than other people, you take the sun, you get cancerous causing agents, I take the sun, my melanin eats the sun, and I get energy from it. That means that the geographical location is different. If the geographical location is different, that means that the food is different. If the food is different, that means that the medicine is different. And if the medicine is different, that means that the water is different too. So that's all I'm bringing to the people. I'm just trying to wake the people up and show them just because we different don't make us better. That's another topic. But I'm just saying we different. And since we different and we are a different species, even our organs is different. Everything about us is different than everybody else. And if you look into the animal kingdom, you have something called the fowl kingdom. In the fowl kingdom, you have birds that eat nothing but meat, hawks, vultures, eagles, they eat meat. But then you have parakeet that eat fruits. Then you have another bird called the hummingbird that eat nothing but sweet honey nectar. It likes the sap of trees. It's still the same classification as a bird, but depending on the geographical location and the size and the content, the biological content of that bird, guess what? It eats different foods. Same thing with the feline kingdom, same thing with all these different kingdoms. So just because it's a bird don't mean that it eat the same food. Just because we all consider ourselves humans don't mean that we eat the same things. We are sick because we're operating in other people's culture and we're using other people's traditions, and then we're blaming it on genes and everything else. No, that's not the genes. Just your mother and your grandmother had hypertension and you got hypertension because y'all all eating the same food.
A healthy liver helps your body process food.
All right, Dad, what are you making?
My new go-to morning smoothie.
What's that?
This is the secret ingredient.
Willie D Live.
The same soul food that is killing and taking your soul. So I think that we need to establish who we are as a people. Then once we establish who we are as a people and we find our true culture and identity, when you tap back into that culture and identity, you would see that the literature is lying. All of us didn't eat meat. Every first thing they want to say is, well, we go back to hunters and gatherers. Says who? Says the books that you was reading that was written by your oppressor. Like show me that without your oppressor telling you that. And then show me what meat eating have done for us. Now, I see a bunch of Europeans on the carnivore diet and they're thriving off of it. I see it. They're losing weight. They're kicking their body into ketosis. They're gaining muscles. The actual neurological functionings and cells are firing off. They think quicker. They're getting rid of the brain fog. But you take that same specific diet and give it to a so-called African-American, or who I'm going to call an Aboriginal melanated being, they get sick. Their body sets up in putrefaction. They get worms off of it. Diabetes mellitus and hyperglycemia sets up. Their blood pressure and hypertension go up off the same food, showing you that we're biologically different. All I'm trying to do is wake my people up and say, hey, we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled. We've been eating another people's food. We've been worshiping another people's God. We've been drinking another people's liquids. It's time to wake up and find our own. And if we can't find our own, we need to go into nature, see what we closely assimilate with, and we need to rebuild the culture. And that's it.
Did you see the video that was circulating of the prime steak?
Yeah.
It was raw and it was bleeding.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it cost like $70,000, and this is the way you're supposed to eat a steak.
You are supposed to. If you don't eat a steak bleeding, then why are you eating the steak? Because the blood is where all the phytonutrients set. When you look at the body is made of 150 trillion cells when it comes to so-called black people. When it comes to Caucasians, their body is made from 50 to 70 trillion cells. When you look at Asians and Mongoloids or Mongolians, their body is made from 70 to 100 trillion cells. So even when you're talking about the content of the cells that make up the full human body, even the range of cells is different. We have more cells than anybody else. We actually go through cellular mitosis more than anybody else. Our cells can divide before they die and rebirth themselves more than anybody else. That's why we have such adaptation cells than anybody else. So we can adapt and live in any climate and adapt to it because of the way our cells are and the melanin content and the carbon that we have built up. So even when you look at that, if you look at meat eating, the body is made of 150 trillion cells. You have three functionings in the body. The blood is what feeds the cells nutrients. It feeds the cells oxygen, and it goes through exchange, where exchange oxygen for carbon dioxide, and then you exhale that carbon dioxide, and then the plants breathe in that carbon dioxide, and then they exhale oxygen and give you oxygen. So you have the blood, which feeds the cells all the phytonutrients and sugars that it need. Then you have something called the nervous system that commands the cells and tells the cells what to do. Then last but not least, you have something called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. So if all of the phytonutrients is in the blood and only a little nutrients is in the tissues, because once it goes into tissues, it goes into the cells, then the cells burn it up and utilize it. Then it produces some type of lactic acid or carbonic acid, sulfuric acid, some type of acid or byproduct come from it. So that means potentially all the nutrients is in the blood. Why would I get a steak? This is how you know that we're not meat eaters. Why would I get a steak, drain it of all the blood where all the nutrients at, then cook the rest of the blood within the tissues of the meat, then eat it? And we know that so-called black people love their meat well done. You're not getting none of the phytonutrients. What you're getting is utilized proteins, and you're getting utilized minerals, which the body really can't do nothing with. So
is eating a steak a raw steak that's bleeding, that's the proper way to eat a steak.
That's the proper way to eat.
Is it good for the body?
That's a proper way to eat any meat if it's raw and it's bleeding, but it's not the proper way for a human to eat it. A proper way for a human to eat it is not to eat it at all. But if you look, not to eat it at all. No, I don't. I haven't ate meat in like 15 years.
You don't know what you're missing.
No, I know what I'm missing. I used to eat it all the time, and I ate steak, bison, lamb. You know, I come from a Hebraic community. My mama Muslim. You know, my father was Hebrew Israelite. So I come from a very, very meat-eating religion and meat-eating culture. You know, we had whole lambs for Passover, and we drained the blood and everything, and we ate the whole lamb. We had bison. You know, I done ate some exotic meats that I can't say on here because it's actually illegal. So I done ate a bunch of stuff. What I realized is I had a heart attack at 21, man.
That's what I was about to ask you about. It. Did that have something to do with the meat consumption?
Yes, because meat, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and weed, all of that accumulated, and I attacked my heart. But this is what I'm saying. Once I stopped eating the meat, I was able to regenerate my cardiomyocytes cells. They say that you can't reproduce those cells. They say once the heart cells die, that's what it is. And they say the same thing for brain cells. But I regenerated my cells by not eating meat.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app and $12.
Willie D Live.
You're a master holistic herbalist. Is that right? Is that correct?
Master herbalist. Yes.
Yeah, master herbalist, biochemist. How often do you have people trying to challenge your credentials? Because you talk, you're under attack a lot. I watched a lot of people come at you, but you stand 10 toes down every time, and nobody has been able to penetrate or put a chink in the armor yet. Yeah. You're really, really sharp. Like, how often do people come at you when they challenging your experiments and your research?
So people don't challenge the credentials. The credentials is what it is. I mean, I don't really even care about the credentials. That's what it is. Even though I went to school and I got my PhD in natural science and health, I have my BA in biochemistry. We in school now for biochemical molecular biology to be a molecular biologist. It ain't really that, my experiences speak for itself. I got my own clinics. We have our own healing homes. I got my own farm. I grow and eat my own food. I have my own water sources. We got a bunch of close relationships to laboratories in Illinois and Missouri. So I know my way around the laboratory. We're working with some of the most expensive thermal and quartz microscopes known to the world, to be honest with you. So it's like, I don't mind people coming at me because I know the work. I realize that I am a new thought leader and I'm very thought provoking, and I step outside the box and look at healing, look at biochemistry, anatomy, and physiology from a different lens than a lot of people. I didn't went to school and I didn't did it on my own. So I know the lies, and I'm here to challenge the textbooks. So people think that I'm challenging them or I'm challenging people that have come before me, like my elders, and I'm not. I'm challenging the information to expand the information so we can grow as a conscious people. And I just think it offend a lot of people. Nobody have ever proven me wrong, though. And you can't prove me wrong if I've done the experiments and I experience what I'm talking about. I don't speak from a stance of reading a book and then I'm regurgitating what I've read. I will read the literature, then I will go do my experiments either on myself, family members, or the collective members that I have in my health club membership program. And we experiment with these herbs and with the diets, with the intermittent fasting. And then we check the blood, do live blood analysis, and then we track your healing. You can't knock that. Everybody got something to say about me, but there is nobody out here doing the same work. So, me, when I know somebody lying about me, it probably angered me a little bit, but I mean, it's like, okay, I know they lying. Now, if they was telling the truth and I was hiding something, that's when I would lash out. So you don't see me responding because it's lies and these people don't know what they're talking about. And just that's what melanated people do, though. They take information. If the information starts a trend, they run with it. And that's what you see. You see somebody posting a snippet of me talking about water, or somebody posting a snippet of me talking about how, so-called Black people are not made to eat meat. And they never watch the whole entire presentation. They just hear it and it hurts them to hear it because I'm trying to take something away from them, even though it's in a positive way, they will take it and they will find textbook research or Google, and then they will use that to defend them. But we all know that the textbooks are outdated. We all know that the textbooks was written by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, which believe in eugenics and basically annihilating 2/3 of the earth. We know that the teachers that teach us the history, that teach us mathematics, the education, pharmaceuticals, and all these other things are made to monetize off of us. So if us being oppressed as a people benefit another people, and these same people are giving us our literature and education, then that means that literature and education is made to keep us suppressed, because the moment that we liberate ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally, it doesn't benefit them anymore. So it's not even arguing back and forth with the people. This is a psychology mindset type of war. This is a spiritual warfare. And some things just don't, Dr. John Henrik Clarke is a may the Most High rest that ancestor soul, one of the great thinkers of this time. And what he said is,
I only debate my equals.
Say that again.
Everybody else I teach.
He said, I only debate my equals. Everybody else I teach. So you will never catch me in a debate match with nobody unless they have the same credentials and have done the same studies and been in the same experiments as me.